I don't have to go back and redo all this shit.
Yeah, for sure.
Welcome to Final Thoughts Podcast, brought to you by CrossfaderLA.com, blending culture and creativity.
Tonight we're going to do a special album, a special project. It is called The Algorithms Anomaly. It is brought to you by Eternal Minds and Balens, Klerede, two individuals that have come together to put this album together. And we're going to sit here and listen to it. Without further ado, let's just dive into this album and let's see what it's all about.
Spiritual intelligence asks for permission to scan our chakra interfaces for errors.
Yes, please.
Multiple misunderstandings, intentional concept corruption, and unresolved trauma-related distortions found. Spiritual intelligence suggests complete system shutdown and reboot.
Yes, please.
Motherboard reboot in progress. Spiritual intelligence recommends new configuration and system upgrade.
Yes, please.
Executing.
Born again, carbon and crystal rebirth, ancestral celebratory libations and birth. Reintroduced to earth, angel investor work. Jury reappraised due to underestimated work. A psychotic curse of a social, political, identical construct. Church and hymnal, subliminal, umbilical cord cut. Spiritual corpse raised, return Sankofa stage. All Lazarus-related accounts rephrased. This is my pioneer gland grand opening. Really signed as a charity candidate for mortal men. New revised way of breathing, eat, drink, walk, talk, dress, thinking. No more pointing finger games, dabbling and blame. Washing wrists from generational slave syndrome stains. Farewell to victim status, claim me helpless. I don't get self-love mixed up with being selfish. My origin story remake, protagonist, antagonist, re-edits. Stay till the end, my friends. There's Easter eggs after the credits. I'm a bad dude. Now you can follow me down ley lines. Polyhedron psalmist, now you can watch me say signs. Crown chakra interface, alternate realm relays, source code downloads, interstellar upgrades. This is my flight school enrollment. Feeling my atoms being activated by every ancestor at every moment. Thinking in the plot. Passport on little potential, the fullest extent. My Shiat, now kingly.
Start reordering the reality from our perspective. And the only thing that reorders reality is your subconscious mind. What you convince your subconscious mind of is what this matrix is convinced of. What you convince your subconscious mind of, this matrix then becomes convinced of. So when you ask, how did you build pyramids? Because we knew we can. We didn't guess or have to figure it out. What we did was we made it a reality, but we first made it a reality within us. These things are within us, still are.
And that was Motherboard Reboot. That's the second track off the album Anomaly, Algorithms Anomaly. The Algorithms Anomaly.
The second track, first song, because the first thing was an intro, merely just kind of like a intro skit.
Yeah, I was about to say that. Yeah, the first song was called C Intro, and that was 37 seconds long. And then, like I said, we just listened to Motherboard Reboot. So,
and like, listen, I love a good intro, and I think this intro, does what I love good intros I like do, which is to set up just enough information about the framing device of the project going forward, right? Like here we have we give information that like there's some kind of motherboard system that's in control of everything, that the person we're following is emotionally dysregulated, and we're kind of going to go through this character's emotion regulation journey, potentially. But yeah, because immediately it's only 30. It's only like you said, like 30, 35 seconds. But immediately I'm like, okay, there is already like a narrative here that I can kind of tune into and kind of follow hopefully throughout the rest of the project. So as far as intros go, I do like the intro.
Okay, that was the intro. Then what about the mother?
Man, I just said all that. You're like, all right, cool. Anyway,
You did a great job on the intro. You got further than I did. That's for damn sure.
it was 30 seconds.
No, okay. What about the track that we just heard?
I am really interested in this idea that we get to by the end of the track of it's not like mind over matter, but it's the idea of like you can only like do something once you're able to visualize it yourself, and that's kind of like what that whole like last part's about. And in turn, it makes me go back and revisit the actual like verse and song itself, and kind of try to view it through that lens. I think truthfully, it's the kind of song that I would have to like listen to like 2 or 3 times to really understand what it's saying. Because clearly it's going for like a lot of like really a lot of like intricate like metaphors and like rhyme schemes that I'm really a fan of. But on a first listen to it's just like a little bit hard to catch. So I think I'd have to give it another pass to really like sink my teeth into it, so to speak.
Absolutely, it's really deep and you know, like you said, like this is like we're listening to it together, and I'm forcing myself to listen to it. As a producer and as someone who makes beats, my mind first take is always listening to the music, and you know that's where my mind goes. So as I'm listening to this project, um, I'm trying to focus more on the lyrics, but I keep getting pulled away to the sonic background, the sonic landscape, right? And I'm listening to the the progression of the song and where it's going. I'm listening to the production. I'm listening to the drums. I'm just listening to everything, and then is for me, it's always second to try to put the words to the melody. And in this case, since it's spoken word, not necessarily rap, um, you know, it doesn't necessarily grab me as much as, let's say, like a a regular rap song, because then it's like they simultaneously merge into one, right? For here in this project, or at least in this particular song, I hear the music and then I hear the words, and they're not really meant to be, I don't know, like merged as one, right? Because he's delivering a very powerful message or whatever, and it's basically about, you know, rebooting and going deep into your subconscious to just start over, right? And
Yeah.
then, like I said, the music itself is very complex. It's not just a regular uh, repetitive hip hop, you know, boom bap type beat. It's really deep and real. Um, has a lot of different things going on in the song. So for
Right.
me, like you said, I'd have to go back and listen to it, you know, one more again. So
Yeah, I think like you said, there's a lot of like clear like layers going on in instrumentation in the beats, and at the same time a lot going on like with the lyrics itself too. So like I think you'd have to get more than one listen to really like fully appreciate how all those different complex parts are working together. Uh,
absolutely.
but yeah, I'm interested to see what the rest of the project is.
All right. So we're gonna dive into our third track, which is called Matt or Mott. It's MAAT 42. So
Hmm.
you know it if you,
I think that's an Egyptian god, I believe.
wow, see? That's why you fucking graduated from Stanford, because you know this shit. All right.
Oh,
So
yeah. Here, put it on, and I'll fact check this.
all right, let's go.
I have not committed sin. I have not committed robbery with violence. I have not stolen. I have not slain men or women. I have not stolen food. I have not swindled offerings. I have not stolen from God or goddess. I have not told lies. I have not carried away food. I have not cursed. I have not closed my ears to truth. I have not committed adultery. I have not made anyone cry. I have not felt sorrow without reason.
The origin of cosmic order in the mystical mythos of Ra's daughter, Maya, Kemetic goddess, divine femininity, deity of harmony, justice, and truth energy. The spirit of balance within all of creation, foundation of cultural ethics throughout civilization, personification of the 42 laws of purity, mistress of the West, ostrich feather headdress, obscurity, depicted ushering souls, underworld duties, in the midst of 42 judges and Tahuti, afterlife confirmation. As Anubis leads the petitioner into duet to declaring 42 affirmations. After that, the weighing of scales, feather against heart. Before the heart of two truths will all depart. To be denied, reincarnate back to Earth, 3D.
I have not assaulted anyone. I am not deceitful. I have not stolen anyone's land. I have not been an eavesdropper. I have not falsely accused anyone. I have not been angry without reason. I have not seduced anyone's wife. I have not polluted myself. I have not terrorized anyone. I have not disobeyed the law. I have not been exclusively angry. I have not cursed God or goddess. I have not behaved with violence. I have not caused disruption of peace.
This is Scarab Beetle, Apis Bull Campfire Talk, for moonlight meditations on narrow road walks, ancestor heirlooms for incoming souls, eternal reminders written on papyrus scrolls, the book of the dead, the book of coming forth by day, granted, precursor to the biblical Levitical commandments, 42 divine laws, through the knowledge, do the math, understand the 4 and 2 make 6, the number of man, balance. But it's more than just writings from ancient times. These instructions lie embedded in the higher mind. Know thyself, as above, so below. Observe everything outside of you is inside to unfold. Exposed self-accountability behind what words and deeds hold. What makes up a moral code? Positive and negative polarity control, kept in harmony with how universal principles flow. Maya.
I have not acted hastily or without thought. I have not overstepped my boundaries of concern. I have not exaggerated my words when speaking. I have not worked evil. I have not used evil thoughts, words, or deeds. I have not polluted the water. I have not spoken angrily or arrogantly. I have not cursed anyone in thought, word, or deeds. I have not placed myself on a pedestal. I have not stolen what belongs to God or goddess. I have not stolen from or disrespected the deceased. I have not taken food from a child. I have not acted with insolence. I have not destroyed property belonging to God or goddess.
Well, I will say that to me, the production is actually pretty damn good. It sounds very clear, like it's engineered very well. You know what I mean? Like it may be slow, very melancholy. The messages are deep. Like I said, it is a spoken word album.
Yep.
So with that being said, the music in the background is very almost hypnotic. How can I say? What's the word?
Hypnotic.
Hypnotic. There you go. I was about to add a couple of extra syllables to that. Yeah, it's very deep.
I would agree. I think so. Just to clarify what I mentioned earlier, Matt or Mayat, I think it was pronounced here. I think that is what this person was saying. Is the Egyptian god of balance, order, and judgment specifically. Sorry, goddess, I should say. Law, morality, justice, and she's the goddess that personifies those concepts. Um, and then I think 42 is a reference to like and I think 42 is like meant to be the answer to the meaning of life in like some cultures or just in pop culture and something like that. Uh, I'm not as like confident about that. With don't quote me on that, but I think in total, what I think this this track here, I think seems like it is not quite a like morality play, which is like a story that's meant to mainly be about like what is to espouse what is right and wrong. But I feel like it is. I feel like this track, from what I'm getting from my first pass, is going through every possible like it's having like this woman who I think is meant to be portraying the god like the goddess Matt, like list off almost every bad thing a person could do, like everything from adultery to stealing property to like cursing someone out in their thoughts, etc. And right, and she's saying, "I have not done these things," and then the other speaker comes in and like does his whole verse talking about balance as above, so below, like know yourself. And I think for the total of all of that, it's meant to be this like message of the only way to avoid like falling into those traps, into those crimes, into those vices, is to know yourself, is to like have that balance and order, and to like be aware of like your own like I guess like emotional state, and be aware of your own like body and your own mind, as to avoid falling into those habits, into those actions uh that she is like listing off. Uh that's not like on a first pass. I think I have to listen more to uh the artists, not Matt Switch, but the other voice of the song to really kind of get through exactly what's going on. Because I heard a Nubis reference for sure. There's a lot of like references to Egyptian culture actually in the song that I really enjoyed too. Because there's a Nubis, there's a Scarab, there's like Matt herself, but I don't hear reference very often. So as a kid who was obsessed with Egypt, I'm all for that. Uh, and like you said, the actual like song itself is like very hypnotic, very. It's a very easy melody to listen to all day. Like I was thinking while I was listening to it, I was thinking about how like video games have to do this thing where they have to write songs that you don't mind listening to for hours because they're playing like the whole time you're playing the game. And this is just a melody that I feel like could fit like that. Like I would not mind just hearing it like for a long period of time. It's like it's really well composed in that way. If that makes sense.
Absolutely. And then I want to go back and recap like the voice. Like I know the album is Eternal Mind and Balanced Clarity, but that voice was actually pretty soothing. That lady's voice,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
female
yeah.
voice, it was like very soothing. I know she's not mentioned or featured, or at least on the album that I can see, but it definitely her voice was very soothing and kind of pulls you into the track.
Yes,
Additionally,
I agree with you.
I also feel that this album, and not only this song, but this album is meant for us to really think about what we're listening to. And like as I hear you talk about it in great introspect, for me, like I'd have to go back and really kind of analyze it. This is like one of those things where the album is meant for us to take it in and kind of do like hold a mirror to ourselves and really kind of look at ourselves and evaluate ourselves and see if we're on the path of everything that she mentioned. You know what I mean? Like that's how I feel. It's almost like self-reflect on the things that she mentioned.
Yeah,
Am I living according to that? And if not, then I need to take accountability for my own actions and kind of reevaluate my. I'm not going to go as far as like reevaluate my life, but I think it's a great way to make people think about what they have going on and the choices they make.
I agree. I agree.
All right,
Um,
go ahead.
all right,
Anything
so
else?
this one. No, I'm ready for now track number 4, right?
Um, maybe, but The next song is called Missing Traffic. And that's something I don't miss. And
What a fascinating title.
I don't. It is track number 4, and it is 5 minutes and 24 seconds.
Kidnapping, missing traffic, the grabbing, quick body snatch, missing traffic, family and friends, they looking, they asking, missing traffic, the severity of the situation, y'all ain't grasp. Missing traffic. Keep your eyes open, head on a swivel. Beware of things out of place, even a little. Keep your circle tight, watch your loved ones. Neglect to check, and off the set they could be gone. Our women and children are being targeted as human commodities sold on the black market. What's the prices ahead? Check the dark web. This is modern day enslavement engagement. Domestic and foreign, bodies coming and going. Moments of torment for perverted enjoyment. For the sick-minded creeps, for sadistic treatment. Masochistic meanings, hard to believe it. It's hard to swallow, it's hard to see it. These filthy fetish freaks that lust to sleep with. Nothing but thieves of innocence. Preying on the most vulnerable, weak, and defenseless. Somebody help. Somebody help. Abductions, kidnapping, missing traffic, the grabbing, quick body snatch, missing traffic, family and friends, they looking, they asking, missing traffic, the severity of the situation, y'all ain't grasp. Missing traffic. The 3 states most active in trafficking in America in order: California, Texas, and Florida. With 25 Mexican cartels involved in the mix. Women and kids caught up in that debt bondage twist. In underground whorehouses, traumatized, forced to be sex slaves, good nights and goodbyes. And it's strange how the news media shows little attention or reaction when it's black people missing in action. A known sector where they find easy victims, or the black children that age out in foster care systems. Unwanted, put out on the street, hungry, homeless, poor, and easy to lead. 40% of sex trafficking victims in America are black, despite us making up only 13.6% of the population. Now, how's that? Then again, how is it not? These are not new habits. America been involved in trafficking blacks since the Middle Passage. Am I lying? Abductions, kidnapping, missing traffic, the grabbing, quick body snatch, missing traffic, family and friends, they looking, they asking, missing traffic, the severity of the situation, y'all ain't grasp. Missing traffic. Poor third world women are lured in by luxurious lies, the false promises of a better life, agreed and proceed to be smuggled over border lines, justifying themselves trapped in some deranged design. Over 50 million victims like this and on the rise. Most prevalent in Asia and Africa worldwide. A $38 billion a year criminal business. The countries with the highest rate of human trafficking list is Russia, North Korea, China, Iran, Afghanistan, Cambodia, Algeria, and Sudan. Going deeper underground where they try to ignore women. The missing are cheaply tricked into selling their bodily organs. While the rich and entitled expect the black market to deliver a compatible lungs, heart, kidney, and liver. Unfair trade that's done in the dark. Satanic sales and secret shopping carts. Help mission traffic.
Once again, these songs or these tracks are deep. They're very thought provoking. It's not your everyday TV off, squabble up type of songs. They're really deep and
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it is definitely a song dealing with some very heavy subject matter. Seemingly mainly a song to bring awareness to these issues. Like a lot of the song is informing the listener of maybe unknown facts about the statistics of trafficking, right? Talking
right,
about like the countries with the most of it, the population in the U.S. that gets trafficked the most, all that stuff. Feels like it's meant to primarily to be like, hey, this is information that you don't know that you should know. And then, like you said, the woman crying in the background just to help to impart the emotional stakes of what's being discussed, which is uh, the trafficking of all these people, right?
right,
Um, and to also in there the commentary of right, uh, I forget what percentage it was, but he basically called out how high the percentage is of African American people being trafficked versus how much of the population of the U.S. they actually make up, and kind of
right,
commenting on like how is that the case, but also how would that not be the case considering the U.S.'s history of how the way it's been treating black people for generations, right? So there is
right,
like a
right.
commentary on that as well. I think it's really interesting. But yeah, I think that, yeah, I appreciate the song that the song really just kind of dives in and is committed to talking about this heavier topic and bringing awareness to an important issue.
Yeah, I agree. All right, we're ready for track number 5,
Yep.
and it is you're probably gonna know the meaning of this word, but to me, I'm just gonna spell it: E as in Eric, GAF.
Okay.
EGAF.
Mm-hmm.
Does that mean something to you?
Oh, I have no clue what that. I have no I have no idea.
Okay, all right, you got it. All right, well, let's dive
You and
into it.
I are equally in the dark on that one. All right, let's do it.
All right, here we go.
We are all just expressions of aspect of the divine totality. In all of their language, the Africans saw God as the totality of everything that exists, including you. You're chasing some illusion that's a mystery, and our responsibility is to free ourselves and fight for ourselves, not wait for some mystery God.
I don't write bars, I build ladders and staircases. Most sacred step mosaics towards escaping spiritual and mental enslavement. Escalators and elevators up to ascended spaces. Observing all, decoding the cabal. Through astral aerosol, graffiti art on ethereal walls. My alchemy, part intellect, part imagination. Displaying the whole comedic pantheon in cryptic phases. Shrouding the unknown, so no disavow me. You'll fight the loud in my Nubian nebula clouds. Divine shrine ancestors cosign. While you better rhyme within the pantomime of your own written lines. Merciful travel, way of the ibis. The unearthed only concerned is a prophesized crisis. Faithless frowns engraved on their face. Fear-based laced and I'm allergic to the taste.
Confusion and illusion. Because they're looking for God everywhere except where they should look for God, in the mirror. And if you don't carry out your role as the God of your kingdom, which is yourself, you become the best killer of yourself. Of yourself. Of yourself.
Allegorical Moses, burning bush talk toasted, the closest to exposing Gnostic hypnosis. Pendulum sway I ride, solar flare slide. Only sages and scribes can fathom the reason why. DMT purges, hasten my service. Wrestling with heckling mortals, cursing in cursive, posing as demiurges. These verses are metaphonics. Ear altar offerings, hieroglyphic harmonics. Holy Land Griot cut from the rarest fabric. Practicing cymatics, words turn to sigil magic. Crystallizing syllables, telekinesis, telepathic. Emerald tablet, spellcasting, graphics interactive. On cancel culture's blacklist. Ageism of cause. Sharing rappers of sport, not got too many points on the board. Ignorance ignored, they voluntarily scary. And won't let wisdom mix with music that's urban contemporary. But keep listening.
I am the universe. You are the universe. We are all just expressions of aspects of the divine totality. Have the courage to be the God you were created to be. Matter of fact, the word God doesn't have the capacity to describe Jinyami, Inyan Kampon, Uludumari.
Muse monarch, keeping it festive. Suggested polarized for time, poetics impressive. Speaker magnet, sound bad for healing properties. Serve properly with elemental quantum quality. Extraterrestrial etymology jargon. Tahuti techniques, proper baboon bargaining. Invoking Oshun, tunes making the crowd sway. Beats from best with Coco Pele flute play. Ancient alien artifacts, tracks matched. Dogon Star Chart specs exact. Right with a falcon's view, eye of Heru. Black as Krishna, the eighth avatar of Vishnu. Saba student and teacher, truth beseech ya. On my quest for the cure to past life amnesia. Take heed as I receive and bestow. Exhale from the mouth, inhale through the nose. Elder God flow.
And that
Is
was
that what
EGAF.
is that what EGAF stands for? Elder God Flow?
Damn, boy, you good? Because I was just gonna ask you what the hell did it stand for.
I mean, I'm not sure because there's still an A there. Maybe I'm not sure, but like that is the last thing you said, and it does mostly fit with the acronym.
But
I
what
don't
was
know.
it, what did you say? I'm sorry, one more time. What did you say it stood for?
I was asking if the last thing you just said there, Elder God Flow, is like meant to tie into the title EGAF.
But that would be an A, no, not an E.
Well, Elder God Flow, right? So Elder
Oh, elder. I
God.
thought you said. I thought you said altar. Sorry.
No, Elder God. So like yeah, but like there's still the A missing there, so that maybe there's something else in there. But
Got it.
there were a lot of gods referenced in that track that I noticed. It was I'm losing it now. There was oof. Nope, it's gone. But there were a couple of different gods mentioned in that track that I took note of, as well as more references to like Egypt and Egypt culture. That was pretty interesting.
Got it. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, that track kind of lost me a little bit.
Hmm.
As I was trying to, I felt like I couldn't catch up to the words, if that makes sense. It was
Yeah,
like I was trying to pay attention to one part. He already moved on to something else, and I'm like, oh snap! And it's like, this is the type of project that you really have to kind of like when I'm walking in the morning time and I'm listening to music. Like this is the type of album that I need to listen to so I can like really like focus on just taking the words in and understand exactly what's going on. It's not meant for like right now we're talking about it and we're listening to it,
yeah,
but at the same time I feel like because I'm trying to study it so I can talk about it, that's almost like I'm tripping over my own feet. You know what I mean? Like it's
yeah.
just that simple. It's like I'm trying to focus on walking so I don't trip, but in the meantime, I'm missing all the beautiful scenery around me. It's so deep that you kind of need to just focus on the words. And while we're sitting here talking about it for a podcast, once again, I'm tripping over my own feet trying to dive into it. But if I was just walking and just not worried about anybody else and just focusing on me, I could, be able to dissect that song a little bit better.
Yeah, I definitely feel that. Like even like with the references to different kinds of cultures that I did catch from that piece. Uh, on this first listen through, like you said, simply it's hard to like immediately catch it and then catch the connections it's making throughout the song. Uh,
Right. I think. Sorry, not to cut you off. I was looking for that either the word EGAF and maybe, like I said, I was looking for it, and he probably mentioned it, but I lost it. But that's what I was looking for. I was looking for that blatant breakdown of what an EGAF is. I wasn't thinking of an acronym. I was just thinking of I don't know. I was looking for something a little bit more potent or in your face or
yeah,
more
yeah,
blatant.
gotcha.
All right. We want to move on to track number 6.
Let's do it.
All right. And this is called Her Inner Grievances Prelude.
Ooh.
And then, so this is track number 6. And then track number 7 is Her Inner Ingredient. So, all right. So this is a prelude, I'm assuming, to track 7. So let's go. First one, listen to track 6. And 6 is 3 minutes long.
Anybody see how all niggas ain't shit and all bitches ain't shit? You see how real love doesn't exist? You see how everybody is some kind of bitch? Do you see it? Do you see? Do you see? It's a boss bitch, or a fly bitch, or a rich bitch, or a pretty bitch, or... I don't like you bitches, none of you bitches, fuck.
I don't want to hear nothing else about black women being the most disrespected person in America. I don't want to hear it no more. Because until we ready to address the real tea, which is we disrespect ourselves on a level that's astronomically higher than any other race attempting to disrespect us.
So we got all these hoes out here splitting their asses and vaginas wide open. Yeah, she ain't had no panties on. And you got every infection and you want a nigga to eat that shit, but you done had it. You done drug it all across the goddamn floor, the janitors and shit, done drug the nasty mop, the mop water, and you done put your pussy, the womb, the damn portal of life and death. You just put the shit on the floor.
We follow anybody with a pink, purple, blue front lace wig on. Our morals and mindset is not the same as our grandparents or our grandmothers. And we done abandoned anything and everything to do with decorum and gentleness and femininity.
You know how dogs look when they drag their ass around because they got worms? That's what I see with all this twerking. Like, what the fuck is in your ass? You need to get out so much. Sit down. You don't know what to do with your energy. True, check your sister.
You must lay the blueprint of how you want to be respected. And nobody taking us seriously when all we promote is turning our tails up in the sky and twerking and shaking it like a skunk. We need to get back to what matters, but the truth is we play too much. We want to be entertained all the time, and half of us can't entertain a valuable conversation of substance for longer than 20 minutes because our attention span is so low.
Ask yourself, what the fuck am I twerking for? How is this edifying my community? How is this edifying me? How is this edifying my children? When I shake my naked ass on stage and get out in front of the world and put my camera on, what am I representing about my black community? What am I saying about my legacy?
I'm hating on the fact that the most beautifully created women on the face of this earth have now been brought low and made to be cartoon characters. Just something for everybody to laugh at. But guess what? They're not laughing with us, they're laughing at us. And I'm definitely hating on it.
I'm representing my mother, my father, my ancestors. And right now you at war and all you representing is some slaves that's been dumbed down, you've been brainwashed, and you've been fucked into submission. So now all you want to do is fucking just stay down.
I happen to love my sisters. All my sisters in the house tonight. Always good to see you.
All right. That was the prelude to Her Inner Ingredients. Obviously, I didn't hear Balens talking on it, but definitely the message I think was pretty crystal clear, and it talks about basically black women being self-degrading. You know what I mean? Like putting themselves out there, focus more on shaking their ass versus hitting the books or being more holding themselves to a higher standard. You know what I mean? Not just in private, but in public. So.
Yep, that is sure what it is saying for sure.
So that was. Go ahead.
No, I'm curious what her inner ingredients is about before I say words about this. Actually.
All right, let's dive into it.
Now a sexy smile can open doors, and less clothes worn can get free drinks poured. Of course, breast amplification brings attention that's wanted. and altered as architecture is apparently abundant. But instead of quickly catering to hormonal sensations, I take time to explore her interior decorations, her foundation, her set of principles. What she does and doesn't honor, what she really won't do. Does she show dysfunctional traits taught by her mama? Has she gotten over any past childhood trauma? Does she not know how to treat a mature man when he shows up? Cause she never saw a proper example of one growing up. She jealous? Is she insecure? Overly possessive? Inconsiderate, too emotionally restless? Very argumentative, constantly complains. Never holds herself accountable, always outsourcing the blame. Does she worry too much about how she's seen in others' eyes? Has she been caught numerous times in several lies? Is she always in the middle of some gossip? Messy, petty, extra out, tested me. Cause though some eye candy melts away like makeup and humidity, and a little voice inside says, I don't think she's the one that's meant for me. Her inner ingredients. 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 I see you self-loving, you fast and meditate, reflecting order, noticing how clean you keep your place. You stay outside, barefoot grounded, or tending to your garden, or morning gazing at sun rays, solar charges, or getting your aim right with a semi-automatic weapon, prepping for any unforeseen future aggression. Teacher of love lessons, and it's clear. You'll be the first to let them know, ain't no bitches over here. But don't test, cause that kind of attitude can be summoned. The fine line between a womanhood and a hood woman. Health conscious, and I'm tripping how good your food tastes. Comfortably funny, you keep a smile on my face. Being open-minded and well-rounded, those are your powers. The reason I could sit and talk to you for hours. My therapist, dream supporter, the one I confide in. My business partner, nurse, masseuse, my closest friend. So deeply into knowledge, understanding, and wisdom. Plus that wet, giving and getting. I love your bedroom rhythm. When I come here from dealing with the world's attacks, you're quick to soothe, so you have my back. Yet it's still so far beyond the surface of mere physical urges. It's the beauty in us sharing our pursuit of purpose. Perfect. Her inner ingredients. 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 Her inner ingredients.
All right, and that was her inner ingredients.
It seems to be the two songs together seem to be a treatise on how he believes that Black women should engage with themselves in relationships in society, etc. Uh,
Correct.
so yeah, and I mean, it is definitely a easy to follow through line from grievances to ingredients for sure. Um, and I think it's seemingly I think ingredients was talking about both uh, Black women in general, but also a specific person maybe near the end. I think that was kind of because he started talking about like you a lot and the person's relationship to him specifically, and
Right.
how that he appreciated them. So I appreciate the starting at a big scope and then narrowing it down. I thought that was pretty effective. Um, yeah, I
I was wondering, like, there's no mention of who the other women are on the prelude. Like, there's
yeah
no, it doesn't mention like who they are. But as I, in retrospect, going back, I'm like, am I listening to Tyler, the creator's mom, on one of these tracks? Because it just kind of sounded like her a little bit. So anyway,
Yeah, it is.
very. Go ahead.
I was thinking it's. I am wondering increasingly about the the credits for those voices, especially because on Prelude, like that song is like mostly intercut of I think two people speaking. I think
Yes,
two different voices. Um,
absolutely.
so I am wondering about like I think just like crediting like who those people are, especially in a song that is ostensibly like using their words to make a point about black women that he believes in.
I agree 100%. All right, what's the word that not pendulum? What's the other word?
Penultimate.
Um, penultimate. There we go.
Yeah.
We're at the penultimate song right now,
Yep, that's
um,
true.
and it's called "See Me."
All right, let's do
Um,
it.
let's go. Put your glasses
I
on.
am the ancestor I pour libation to. The ancestor we talk about is you in a time before this time.
Ancestors come to the sound of the drum. No more. Ancestors come to the sound of the drum. Hear me now. Ancestors come to the sound of the drum. No more. Ancestors come to the sound of the drum. I feel them. Stardust settlement, relative beyond relevant. What a birthday tree. My swipe, no memory. In the land of the black woman, black man, original, born soul of 10 millionaire. Kinfolk, folklore, many come before. Now on the other side, yet still in me inside. Invite tribe reception. Unseen space-time connection. At my ancestors' altar, asking my inner part for assistance so I don't falter. Transparent faces, guidance from another place. Friends, uncles, aunties, grandparents, great. Multiple reflections, multiple directions, multiple lessons, multiple corrections. See me, see my family tree. Everything from the roots to the leaves. Divine bloodline ancestry. Seeds from the stars come we. See me, see my family tree. Everything from the roots to the leaves. Divine bloodline ancestry. Seeds from the stars come we. Call me sire. From Kush, not the smoking fire, but the ancient empire. Behold my Hannibal stroll, as if I hold loads of Massimosa gold. Respect the king, man, and Lake 2. You fade who? I come through like Shanga, my ear don't move. On some king to Haka. After being Idris Saluma diplomat, then I Ashanti tribe ride like Ya Ashanti ride was my auntie on my mama's side. But Queen Nanny, Queen Aminga Ringers, Queen Nazinga, and the rest of my family. Projecting my original type features. Like a legs by gotten off crossword creatures. For many come one, for one come many. The path and future me's all the weeds is now with me. Let's go. See me, see my family tree. Everything from the roots to the leaves. Divine ancestry. Seeds from the stars, from the stars come we. See me, see my family tree. Everything from the roots to the leaves. Divine bloodline ancestry. Seeds from the stars, from the stars come All right, that was CB.
All right, all right.
Probably, that would probably be my favorite track of the album.
Hmm.
Probably because it was a little bit more up tempo. a little bit more melodic. I do appreciate all the melodies and the sonic landscape that it's on. It kind of gave me that Arrested Development feel to it.
Mhm.
So I definitely appreciate that.
Gotcha. I think I feel the same. I think that's the song where I think with the most present. How do I put it? I think it's out of the songs we've heard so far, it's the one that the most sounds like it's concerned with, like primarily with like the music. It has something like as a chorus almost, like right, like, and I think it does make a difference. And I think it's definitely either this one or Map 42. Probably one, but my favorite songs on the project so far for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I can almost see like this getting a little airplay. I think it might need a little bit of tweaking because I feel like there was either I don't know if the drums are played live or if it's a beat machine, but
Mhm.
for a second there, it felt like it was off beat, and I don't know if that was by design or just my ears were tripping and maybe I was off beat. But just for a second there, it seemed like there was a portion where like something was offbeat. But overall though, the entire package, I think it delivers. And like I said, I think it is my favorite track of the album.
Yeah.
All right, and then that brings me to the outro, and it's called C outro, um, and that is a minute and 21 seconds.
Okay.
All right, let's dive into it.
Spiritual intelligence confirms upgrade and recognizes the frequency of balanced clarity's artistic expression as a much needed contrast to the current soundscapes of romanticized gun violence, materialism, illegal drug solicitation, substance abuse, and hypersexualized content. As a result, this will lessen the chances of mainstream acceptance. However, high levels of appreciation will be granted by the light seekers that look beyond the illusionary surface of this reality. In an era where so called success is measured by an extremely high number of social media followers and music streaming analytics, Balance Clarity is indeed an anomaly to the algorithm. Or should I say, the Algorithms Anomaly. Peace.
All right,
Oh, he said the
yeah,
title. He said the title in there. There we go.
there you go. The algorithms anomaly. So I went back to the album to see if there was any like credits. And
Mhm.
unfortunately, there's no credits because we're talking about the different characters and voices that are on the album or whatever.
Yeah.
So I was looking to see if there was any additional information, but there isn't. But so 9 minutes, 30 minutes long, spoken word album. I definitely
Oh,
found.
you have any thoughts about the outro?
What's that?
You don't have any thoughts about the outro?
Oh, sorry.
it's
Um, I mean, my thoughts
fine.
on it.
It's fine for you. Yeah, go for it.
Go ahead. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I have some thoughts on it only because it like ties directly back into the intro, which I like. Right, I like that it's a full third line.
Okay.
And I think it sums up his view of his own work in the cultural landscape, which is very similar to I think like D1's work from back in the day, which is just like, hey, all of this main cultural music is about uh, materialism, sex, violence, etc. Like and
Yeah.
like in that interpretation of the cultural moment, he views his album as a standout in its antithesis to that, and and it believes that because it comes from a place of like intelligence and deep thought, etc., that it will be kind of like I said, the anomaly in all of that uh, cultural landscape, so to speak.
Yes. Agreed.
So I
I
think it
mean,
was a good job getting that point across and kind of contextualize what his goal was with this project, I think.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. As we, you and I and your brother, we talk about albums and listen to different music all the time. I would definitely say, like, in our landscape, this album would be the anomaly, right? This is a spoken word album that, it's the first of our kind to listen to and discuss and give, our opinions about it. It's definitely something that that's different from everything else we've talked about. I can tell that they put a lot of effort into making this album. Any body of work that someone puts their heart and soul into it is definitely worth listening to and formulating your own opinion about it. I give him props for that. I give the album his props. You know what I mean? It is the anomaly compared to everything else we listen to, and it's kind of refreshing to hear something different than everything else that we hear on the radio or see on TV. Like you mentioned D1, and we know D1 has always been talking about you know breaking away from mainstream and focusing on self help and kind of uplifting our culture
Yes,
and
exactly.
not letting everyone just shit on us as they do. So I give these guys props for putting this album together.
Oh yeah, I think that it was. I'm really glad I listened to this project. Uh, I really love this kind of different way of combining music and the spoken word together. I think on like some tracks where I really like it and am intrigued by what's going on, and like I said, Matt 42 and See Me for like I'm really enjoy how those two come together, and I'm really excited to give them another listen after we go off camera and really kind of figure out what's going on there, get those references. Because clearly this is someone who was like done a lot of like cultural study, right, too, and like just make references
Absolutely.
like with intent. So I'm really excited to go back and listen to those and kind of see what's going on. And yeah, I would definitely say give it a listen if we've talked about kind of piques your interest. If you like spoken word, if you are into this kind of different style of of music and spoken word, like synthesis, so to speak. Uh, then yeah, I think, or even if you're like in the mood for some introspection as well, I think it's album
There
for
you
that.
go. Exactly. Well said.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Well, we appreciate you guys hanging out with us. This has been a side B episode of Final Thoughts. John is in Milwaukee, freezing his ass off. He's on a business trip. We're holding down the show tonight, and like I said, we wanted to bring you this album. The reason why we selected this album is because I personally know Balens, Klerede, and we go way back to our days in high school. And so when he presented this project to me, he doesn't even know that I'm doing this podcast on this album. So I wanted to take an honest listen to it, invite Jeremiah along to give his perspective on it, and kind of just give you our honest opinion about this album. And hopefully you guys will find it interesting. And I think it deserves a listen to, not once, but twice, to really let it sink in and get the full um, maximum potential that it's meant to deliver. So
Yeah, I
we
definitely.
appreciate you guys. As always, Jeremiah, anything you want to say before we bounce?
Catch us up at the next pop-up we do, which will be announced in our social media.
There you go. CrossfaderLA.com. We appreciate the support. We catch you guys on the flip side. Peace.
Peace.
I just dream. I dream. I have dreams, and dreams is they should be pure. I think a lot of times when we're born into this world, we actually wind up going backwards. And it seems like the more we mature, the more responsible our dreams become. And the more governors we put on ourselves and our ability to dream and to reimagine. And it's always a fight for us parents and for you guys to make sure that your dreams always stay pure. So it's not a matter of pushing beyond your limitations or expectations. It's really a matter of protecting your dreams, protecting your imagination. That's really the key.